Welcome to Coffee, Cards, and Conjure with Mademoiselle Lynna. www.conjureknits.com.
Hello everyone, I hope you have enjoyed this beautiful day. We are going to continue with our self-empowerment series. Tonight we are going within. It's too easy to get distracted by world events. Trauma and drama pull us off center and further away from our own inner wisdom. We're all the walking wounded, doing our best to cope with what's happening out there, often at the price of neglecting what's inside. Inner work is necessary if we are going to heal ourselves and show up in the world as whole beings, because compassion begins within. A healthy relationship to self will pave the way for a better relationship with the world, no matter what's happening out there. When we acknowledge our shadow sides and befriend them, we become courageous, merciful. Think about how it would be if everyone did this work. What might the world look like if we were able to forgive and be tender with ourselves? Introspection is an important step in this shadow work. As we look within, we begin to see those sacred dark spaces, the parts that need our sympathy and love. From there, we can all become friends with ourselves, warts and all. But where do we begin? Try meditating. Meditation is one answer. Oh, I can't meditate, I hear you saying. Do you think that is true? Many people assume that meditation is hard, that it's for the enlightened few who can sit still for hours, concentrating with a blank mind that even the peskiest fly can't disturb. Hear this. Meditation is not like that. Not at all. Meditation is simply sitting still and noticing what comes up. It's a way to practice mindfulness and make peace with the self. While there are formal meditations that require specific breath work or visualization, most practices involve watching the breath. That's it. But that can require some effort. Sitting and observing your breath can be challenging, especially for those who are restless by nature or have difficulty sitting due to physical issues. This is one of the main reasons why so many people attempt a meditation practice only to give it up soon after. So, how do you start meditating when the body and mind won't cooperate? You just start sitting for a few minutes a day, that's all. Even a 5-minute practice will create major transformation. Those few minutes are enough for even the antsiest types to find a quiet space in their day and their mind. Begin doing this, and soon you'll see major benefits showing up in every area of your life. Meditation lowers blood pressure and helps decrease stress. It lessens worry and increases concentration. It promotes healthy digestion and lessens inflammation in the body. Better yet, it helps bring about more mindfulness. And mindfulness is the key to showing up in the world as the best version of yourself. Face it, a lot of people make decisions or take actions without thinking of the consequences for themselves, other people, or the planet. When did you last think about how your water use when you brush your teeth might impact Mother Earth? If you are mindful, you might think twice before letting that faucet run while you rinse out your mouth. When you post an opinion on someone's social media profile, do you stop to consider how your words, even if well-intentioned, might harm that person? Again, if you're mindful, you might think carefully before clicking send. A mindful attitude promotes peace. Meditation can create that for you. For anyone who actively participates, meditation is the key to healing the shadow and making the world a better place for us all. Now, here are a few tips. 1. Find a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. This may be a room set aside specifically for meditation or a small spot in your bedroom. If you live with other beings, shut the door and put a do not disturb sign on the knob. 2. Make sure the temperature in the room is comfortable. If it's too cold, you will not meditate. You will only focus on how cold you feel. If the room has a chill, be sure to dress in layers and have blankets nearby. 3. Assume a comfortable position. For some, that may mean sitting cross-legged. For others, a chair may be better. Some prefer to lie down on the floor, a couch, or a bed. Others who may have physical conditions may be happier in a wheelchair or seated with cushions and pillows around the body. Find what works for your needs and then settle in. 4. Choose a focal point. You might want to bring your awareness to the rise and fall of your belly or the breath as it comes in and out through the nostrils. 5. Observe your breath without trying to change it or control it. Just let it come and go and watch. If a thought pops into your mind, label the thought, then let it go. For example, if you find yourself starting to plan your dinner menu, as soon as you catch yourself doing that, label it planning, and then go back to watching your breath. You may end up doing this over and over, but don't fret. You are getting clued in to how your brain likes to operate. 6. Do not judge your practice as wrong or right. It's right for you as it is. It's totally personal. 7. Sit for as long as you are comfortable. In the beginning, that may only be 3 minutes. That's fine. Aim for about 5 minutes a day, but even if that is too hard, give yourself credit for what you are able to do. 8. A little journaling after meditation is a wonderful way to wrap up your practice. Keep a journal handy and jot down your observations. It's interesting to revisit these notes later on as your practice matures. Now, don't worry if I went too fast and you were not able to copy down these points. I will type them up, and for everyone that joined the live tonight, I will email you a copy. Now, here is a simple meditation practice that you may want to try out. This is a loving kindness metta meditation. This meditation is ideal when you're feeling sad about the state of the world or dealing with some particularly nasty people. Empathetic folk can get easily drained or depleted by a topsy-turvy world or a mean comment. This meditation pulls you back into compassion mode. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. Begin following your breath. As you inhale, silently say to yourself, "May I be free from suffering." On the exhale, "May I be at peace." Repeat this mantra with each breath. Practice for a few minutes. Once again, as you inhale, silently say to yourself, "May I be free from suffering." On the exhale, "May I be at peace." You can also direct the mantra towards a hater, world event, world leader, negative person in the media, etc. if you find they are pulling you off center or bringing you down. In this case, you would replace the hate, instead of saying hater world, you would say their name of the difficult person. For example, "May Bob be free from suffering." "May Bob be at peace." By sending good energy to this person, you're breaking the negative connection between you. More importantly, you're sending out much needed healing and compassion. Negative types and situations need that the most. Remember, hurt people hurt people. Loving kindness meditation transforms that. EFT is another option. You are a growing and expanding microcosmic universe composed of energy. We call this your energetic story, where all of your experiences, traumas, and beliefs are held. From this energetic story, the narrative of your life is written. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, as science tells us, so it is always vibrating. That vibration dictates the form that it becomes. If you change the vibration, you change the form. And if you can change the form, you can change the whole picture of your life. Look at it this way. If water is the energy that we're working with, the vibration will dictate the form that the water takes. From a low to high vibration, water becomes ice, liquid, then gas. It's all the same stuff, just a different form based on the vibration. Your energetic story follows the same principle. If your energy is stuck at the rate of an old trauma or belief, then your life becomes a chronic cycle of similar experiences. When you shift the vibration, you change your life. It's simple in theory, but takes a lot more work in practice. That's why intention is so key. One way to shift your energy and clear out the old trauma that has cluttered up your story is by using EFT, or the Emotional Freedom Technique. EFT is a visceral way of shifting energy. According to EFTalive.com, the cause of all negative emotions and beliefs is a disturbance in our body's energy system. So, you work with your body and intention to move your blocked energy. EFT functions on the premise that your body has energetic pathways called meridians that contribute to your well-being or lack thereof. If your energy is flowing smoothly through these meridians, then you are well. But if it is stuck or blocked from some past trauma, then you will experience disease. When you do EFT, you are tapping into the vibration by acknowledging the block or trauma that you experienced. Because energy is not bound by time or space, there is no difference between now and when you first experienced this trauma. You can recall the pain and begin to move it from the past into the here and now, just like you will use the tarot to look at an old story. See it in full expression and begin to rewrite it. Your power to create by feeling is immense. You can feel something intently. You can activate that vibration throughout your life. You can use your emotions, energy, magic, and intention to create abundance just as easily as you can produce lack. The thing you believe in the most will become the truth. For this reason, it's important to allow what you feel when it arises. Be with it and then let it go. If not, it becomes a seed lodged in your energy where it takes root and blooms into repeated experience. EFT is one of the many ways you can experience the negative feeling. Recall the trauma and release it with intention rather than chewing on it endlessly. As EFTalive.com explains, EFT works by intentionally activating an energy disturbance by thinking about a painful memory or just feeling your feelings. As the disturbance gets cleared through the tapping, you will experience your negative emotions actually drain away. Not only do the negative emotions dissipate, but their shifting makes space for a new vibration to feel. However you look at it, the intentional shift is the key to creating the change. We cannot speak to the physical benefits of EFT on healing the body and disease, but we have found this technique has tremendous benefits for releasing energies that keep us from experiencing our higher purpose. How to do EFT. Performing an EFT session on yourself is simple. You will call up some trauma, negative experience, or emotion you are grappling with. Then you will go through a series of tapping different places on your body to release the energy to be replaced or transformed. 1. Acknowledge what you are releasing. This can be a very specific trauma, a feeling, or something happening right now. Come up with a clear phrase that encapsulates this experience. This can be a memory, a present issue, a feeling, etc. Work on one issue at a time. For example, I am lonely, or I hate my job, or my father was never there for me. Unlike affirmations, your statement is focused on the negative. You are trying to conjure up the negative feeling at its fullest so it can be released through the tapping exercise. 2. Rate on a scale of 0 to 10 how painful the feeling is. We'll use this later to check in on your pain level after a couple of tapping passes. The idea is to tap until there is no pain left. 3. Set up the session by using a phrase that pinpoints the trauma or feeling and accepts it so it can be released. The most common phrase used in EFT is, even though, blah, 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 I deeply and profoundly accept myself. You can change this according to your situation, but this is the classic formula used. 4. Now begin your tapping. 1. Tap quickly with all stiff fingers on the side of your palm. This can be either hand. Repeat 2 to 3 times. Even though, blah, 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 I deeply and profoundly accept myself. 2. Tap on the top of your head with your whole palm quickly, repeating just one time your original statement without the even though piece. 3. Tap the inside point of your eyebrow on either side near your nose, repeating just your statement once. 4. Tap the outside point of your eye, either eye, repeating just your statement once. 5. Tap under your eye bone close to your nose, repeating just your statement once. 6. Tap the space between your nose and lips, repeating just your statement once. 7. Tap your chin, repeating just your statement once. 8. Tap the point of your collarbone on one side, repeating just your statement once. 9. Tap under your armpit a few inches down, either side, with an open palm, repeating just your statement once. 10. Gently tap your wrists together and repeat, even though, blah, 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 I deeply and profoundly love, accept, and forgive myself. 11. Go through the series one more time. 5. Now that you've moved through the tapping sequence twice, assess the intensity level of your feeling. If you are down to 1 or 0, then you can stop. If you still feel triggered, go through the series again. This time you can rework your original statement to reflect the changes you feel. For example, I still feel lonely, or my job is still unbearable. 6. Finally, go through the tapping series one more time, but change the statement to a positive affirmation. An example might be, I am confident with who I am and I deeply and profoundly love, accept, and forgive myself. You can go through the EFT sequence for any issue whenever you need it. I, Sheehan, find it really helpful when I am in the midst of something and I need to work through it. Just going to the bathroom for a few minutes to tap it out can shift everything quickly. There are many wonderful resources for EFT practices on the web, but this is the basic recipe that most practitioners follow. You will find slight variations depending on the source. Online videos can help you see the process if you're a more visual person. To learn more, check out eft-alive.com and thetappingsolution.com. As I said earlier, I will also type out these steps for you and email them to those that have joined the live tonight. Okay, so we're going to wrap up the reading right here and continue next week with other ways to connect with yourself and the world. But I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts and feelings about this. How are you feeling now? Do you think that this is something that will work for you? And which do you think that you would prefer, the meditation, the tapping, or a combination of both? I I want to hear your thoughts.
All right, so I'm not really sure about the tapping,
Mm-hmm.
but the meditation has been something that I've tried on and off, but it seems like if it's like my thoughts, I can't stay focused. That may be a better way of putting it.
Right,
Um,
like they trail off.
it does. My mind wanders, and it could wander from anything to anybody. And I actually have that same issue even when I'm praying, where it seems like my mind just can't stay focused.
Right, like
Um,
all of a sudden you're thinking, oh my God, I got to do the laundry.
mhm.
Yeah, I do that too, to be honest. It's it's real hard to make it quiet. And that's what where did they say that at? He said part of that. Oh, if you find yourself starting to plan your dinner menu, as soon as you catch yourself doing that, label it planning and then go back to watching your breath. And you could end up doing it over and over, but don't fret. You're getting clued into how your brain likes to operate. Mine likes to operate all over the place. But
And that's what I was sitting there thinking when you were reading. I've tried several times, and then I get frustrated because I just can't seem to put a stop to it. I can label it, but I don't know so much as just shooing it away to continue to focus. But it is
right,
something that I do want to be able to manage.
right. Well, maybe try it like they said. Do 2 or 3 minutes, and make them build up.
Right.
Because I'm even having to do that with my exercising. I did not realize I was so out of shape. For real, I went and bought an elliptical machine, and I got on that thing, and I'm like, I can't breathe.
Yeah,
What?
that would probably be me.
Okay, I'll do 5 minutes. It's here at the house, so I can still wear my pajamas, and I can go back in later and do 5 more minutes.
Right.
But yeah, take it kind of like that. Just do a couple minutes, clear your mind. If you start thinking about something and you can't stop, then go ahead and cut down the meditation and just do it again later. And
Okay.
and then just build it up,
I'll try that.
because I have that problem too. Or I fall asleep sometimes. I really do. I'll be laying there, and I'll have like flashes of pictures or thoughts like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Do the kids have clothes to wear tomorrow? Do I need to get up and do laundry? And if I get up and do laundry, then I might have to stay up all night and do the dryer too.
Right.
And my mind just goes crazy. And if sex is boring, the same thing happens. Not even gonna lie.
Oh my God.
That's awful. I know that's so awful to say, but it's the truth.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we really do have to get it under control somehow.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying.
I do. I do.
You can't
I,
help it. It just kind of pops in your head, and you're like, oh.
right. I agree.
Or maybe you can keep a journal, and then that when you start thinking things like laundry or whatever, write it down that those are triggers,
Okay.
and just start with a few minutes at a time, and then, like I said, journal it and write it down what your triggers are. And then what were they saying about, you can actually probably use EFT to get rid of your triggers for your meditation. What was it saying? I'm going to go back through here and look. Sorry if you
Yeah,
have.
because I would have to read up on that because I don't think I've heard of that.
I saw it. I saw it on a TV show, and I can't remember which one it was. I've been watching DC lately, so who knows? Flash, maybe it was on Flash. I don't know. What were they saying? Even though my mind drifts off, I deeply and profoundly love, accept, and forgive myself. How about that?
Yeah, that's something I would really have to work on.
Okay. Well, I'm going to type it up and I'll email it to you.
Okay. That'd be awesome.
But yeah, I saw that and I thought that that was kind of interesting because the guy, it's like when he would get frustrated, he would just start like patting the side of his hand and on his collarbone, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? But now I know.
Yeah, I would definitely have to try that. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it looks like it might get irritating. Maybe that's why you stop, having those anxiety attacks is because you don't want to attack yourself.
Right. And that would make sense.
So, but how has your week been going?
Um, Still trying to get acclimated. I've been here. I've just moved here about a month ago. Relocating due to a new job.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just guess I'm trying to get my feet up. How do you say it? Get my bearings, pretty much.
Right.
New people, new home. Everything is just new.
Overwhelming.
It is. It is. So just trying to get acclimated with all that. Work-life balance, I guess.
It takes time. I moved in this house 4 years ago. Well, next month will be 4 years, and I still have boxes in the garage I've not unpacked. I've not put any pictures on the wall or anything because it's like I know this is not my house. And so,
And that's kind of how I feel. Like all my pictures, everything is in boxes. Honestly, it's just in storage. Um, Not knowing how long I'm gonna be here, if I want to be here. Um, Honestly, I think this is probably one of the first times where I'm not even in the mood to decorate or, like I said, make it your own.
right. It's like I'm just renting this place. This is not my house. So I don't want to make it my house, but at the same time, I don't want to put holes in the wall either, because it's not my house.
Right,
And
right.
so I'm just, the kids have put up a few pictures, but I just give them the side eye and keep walking. But yeah, this is not my home. I will get my home next year. My lease.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
I've got
Awesome.
one more year left on my lease, and then I'm gonna try to buy a house. So I'm working on all that, credit and saving money stuff now.
Right.
But I'm planning ahead.
I'm in the same boat. I'm working on my credit, and was doing pretty good for a while. It kind of slid, but trying to
Yeah,
get my bearings so I can get that going. And saving money. I think money just seems to burn a hole in my pocket. But
right,
I'm to a place in my life where I want something that I can call mine. I want something that I can leave behind for my kids.
right, exactly. And I was trying to explain that to mine because, well, when we get the house, which will be next year, my son will be a senior in high school and my daughter will be a freshman. And I'm talking about getting a 2-bedroom house. And they don't understand, why do you want to get a 2-bedroom house? Where are we all going to sleep? And I'm like, well, I can stay in the living room for the first year, maybe 2. I said, but I fully expect when you graduate for you to move out and go to college.
Right,
I said, this is not your house. This is my house. When I die, I will add you both onto the mortgage. And when I die, y'all can fight over who gets it. I said, but I have worked hard all of my life and I want to retire. Now, I won't retire from readings. I'm still going to do that, but I want a place of my own.
right,
I deserve that. And it's not, when the son moves out, I'll take his bedroom. And then when the daughter moves out, I'll make her room my office. And that's my house. And I'm
right,
not being selfish. They can always come back to visit. But I'm not going to buy a 3 or 4 bedroom house for what? For them to move
right,
out and leave me there all alone making a huge mortgage payment?
right.
So,
I get it.
but yeah,
I get it.
I'm not, I don't know, maybe you can, well, it is a new job. Do you like your job?
I do. I'm a store manager. I've been in retail for so long that that's all I know. Um, so I like it. I hate that it wasn't in the best conditions when I got there. So trying to get it where it needs to be, but make it
Mhm.
my own as well. Um, but honestly, I want to promote up. I don't want to. I don't want to stay a store manager. I want to be financially secure.
Mhm.
Um, not looking to get rich or anything. I just want to be comfortable where I can take care of my family.
Right. I understand.
So for so long, I guess it was kind of like a power game where I want to go as far as I can go. But now it's just a matter of me being financially stable.
Something like maybe a regional manager over
Yes.
like 3 or 4 stores or something.
Yeah.
Or I don't know what region you live in. If you live in Houston, it could be 50 stores. But,
Well, I live right outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, so it's
oh,
pretty huge demographic.
right.
So
But yeah, a regional manager would be good, but then you'd be on the road all the time and tired. But did you watch my weekly forecast?
have not had a chance to do that.
Well,
And matter of fact, I think I just saw it in the email today.
I did. I just put it to. I ran behind.
So
And that's
yeah.
why I didn't even do the angel message Monday. I was like, I've just got to shoot out this email and run down to the school. I don't have time to be copying and pasting pictures and
Right. Right. I understand. God knows I understand.
but yeah. Um Part of it talks about you may not be where you want to be yet, but even these little obstacles that are in your way, when you remove them or get past them, you count those as blessings. And so be thankful for every little blessing along the way to your end game, your end goal.
And I am really trying to work on that. I think I've taken so many things for granted. And this past year has really been one of the hardest years in my life, whether it came with my job, finances, family, all of that. It's really the things that have happened in my life the past year has really humbled me.
Right.
Um, and it is a matter of trying to be grateful or being grateful for every little thing. Like you said, because somebody somewhere has it worse off than me.
Exactly. There's always somebody worse off. And even the roadblocks, like if you don't get promoted tomorrow, be thankful because it may be something better next week. Or I'm just using short term, but it
Right,
might take longer than that. But be grateful that you didn't get that because now you have the opportunity to get something better. Or
right,
things like that.
right,
Don't get it talks about don't let yourself get into. I even talked about meditation in there, as a matter of fact. Don't let yourself get depressed. Don't get down on yourself. Just keep moving forward and being thankful.
right.
I'm not going to tell you the whole thing. You got to watch it,
Okay, I can do that.
but yeah,
I can do that.
even I guess you can maybe not hang them on the wall if you don't want to, but just set out some pictures, in some picture frames with you and your
Okay.
or something, give it a little bit of, don't be like me.
I'll see what I can do.
Just to make it a little bit more homey. And then you might feel better actually too. You won't feel so lost. Because you sound
Right.
kind of like you're lost. Like this is not home. I don't know. You know, you kind of feel like you're lost.
I do sometimes. I do. Um, but I'm really trying to take it one day at a time.
That's good. That's baby steps.
Yes.
Baby steps.
Yes.
Don't jump in too fast. But yeah, I think you're going to be fine. You
Okay.
just got to kind of get through it. But that's
Okay.
part of the fun. That's what they say, right?
Right. That's what they say.
That's part of the fun. That's stories you can tell the grandkids. I had to do this. You guys
Yes.
don't know. I had to walk to school 5 miles barefoot. No.
Yeah, if I hear that story one more time.
I know, right? At least I had tennis shoes. But
Right. I don't think I've ever known what it's like to not have shoes. So definitely grateful for that.
But yeah, you'll have stories to tell. So, it's life experience.
It is. It is.
And I don't know, maybe you could meditate on what you're going through and how sometimes when I meditate, I lay quietly and how do I put it? I overanalyze everything, to be honest, but I will pull apart and piece together a plan of how I'm going to do things and in what order, and that's a form of meditation, I would think.
Well, if that's a form of medication, I have the overanalyzing down pat.
Right. But when your mind starts drifting, just kind of go with it and make a plan to whatever it is that you're thinking about. Put all the little pieces together, but it clears your mind from everything else, and you're only focused on that one thing. And that one thing could be your focal point for that session.
Okay.
And that might actually help you figure out what you're trying to figure out.
Okay, I'll try that. I can try that.
So I think that would help. Do you have any questions? It's just you and me here tonight.
No, I mean, I really did enjoy. I was actually surprised that I enjoyed last week too.
Good. This is a really good book. It's called Tarot for Troubled Times.
Okay.
But it's really good. I like it. It's not the same as every other tarot book.
Okay.
It kind of, it goes through the cards and talks about the cards too. And we did one of them. We did the Fool at the very beginning about taking risk and stuff like that. But it's a really good book.
Okay. And that's something I do miss doing is reading. That was always a passion of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so proud that my girls, all my daughters, well, except for one, but they're avid book readers. So that's something that they took from me and ran with.
Yeah, so far my kids both read. Now if they would do their math. But
yes.
I don't understand it. I was so good at math. I'm still pretty good at math. But I made straight A's, and both of them are like, Mom, it's too hard. And I'm like, guys, math is the only thing that you cannot dispute. You can argue science, you can argue English because is it FOVOR or FOVU? I mean, you can argue history because the dead people, the losers, you never hear their side.
Right.
You can argue everything, but you cannot argue math because there's only one right answer.
Right.
No matter how you chop it up and solve it, there's only one answer. And so it frustrates me, and I can't understand, how can you not? It's one answer.
Well, I know, like, so my daughter Jamie, she's in the 4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say it was actually last year, and I don't even remember if it was multiplication. I can't remember what it was, but the teacher was like, "Well, do you want to learn the new math?" And I'm like, "Sure, anything that's going to help me help her. I'm down for learning."
Mm-hmm.
And whatever it was she taught me, I'm like, "Oh my Jesus!" Like it was a longer version of it.
Exactly. I went to school for early childhood development through 6th grade to be, an elementary teacher. And I used to teach at the Catholic school in the after school program. I would have the 1st through 3rd graders. It's a glorified daycare, basically. But I would help the kids with their homework and stuff like that. And what was I saying? Oh, one of the 3rd graders had a math problem, and she came to me and she's like, can you help me with this? And I read it and it says, what if you have 9 nines, how many do you have? Explain. Well, duh, it's 81. You know,
Right. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
you put your hands up, drop down your ring finger on your right hand. You got 8 on one side and 1 on the other side. It's 81. But I was like, it's 81. She says, no, that's not how you do it. And I said, okay. And so I went down to the 3rd grade teacher's room and I asked her, I said, I said, I'm having a little trouble with this problem here. Can you help me? And she told me that the answer is 81, but when you explain it, you draw 9 rows with 9 boxes in each row. And I'm thinking, so when somebody asks you what's 9 times 9, you're going to sit there and draw little boxes in the air instead of saying 81.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, there's everything is visual now. They want to teach people visual stuff. And I'm like, but it's still 81.
And it takes longer to come up the answer.
It really does. And so the new math, there's only one answer. No matter if it's new or old math, it's
Right.
one answer.
Right.
9 times 9 is still 81, whether it's boxes or some square with a bunch of numbers on it, you know.
Right.
Because we had to memorize that square, the multiplication table.
Right.
So, whew.
I got you.
They make it complicated. And the thing about it is I think the parents have more homework than the kids do.
Yes, I do agree with that.
It's like, are you kidding me? A science project and it's got to be this? My kid's not touching that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, there's more homework. I definitely agree. More homework for the parents than there is for kids.
Yeah.
And yours is just starting if she's just in the 4th grade.
Yeah, she's debating. She's just starting, and I'm like, it was not like this with the older girls.
Mm-mm. Well, I mean, even with my son, and he's 16 now, his was like that too, though.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It was like really, well, and I taught him how to do the 9s on his fingers, and you know, because that's the easiest one are the 9s.
Right.
But no, you got to draw boxes. And then they give them these Lego block things. I don't know what the block things were all about, where they had to put together Legos.
Oh, wow.
They're like little cubes, and so I guess you make your 9 rows with 9 boxes. So then you have your 81 little cubes. But I was like, well, if you're shopping and you've got $100 and you're counting up your stuff, how many boxes are you going to draw while you're in the store? It doesn't make much sense to me. I think you muted yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay. Yeah, I just like the old-fashioned math.
Yes, I do too. And the English too. Now you don't know if it's a comma or a semicolon.
Right.
And are you supposed to put a comma after the last word before you write and so, or no comma? I'm still.
I don't know.
Sometimes I put a comma, sometimes I don't. I figure I'm right either way.
Yeah, it's just whatever the new hits. That's what I go with.
But yeah, I mean, I really have to stop. And Walker's taken ACT test and all this stuff. And this year he wanted to take a dual credit, and he had to go pass these tests at the college before they would allow him to do dual credit. And I'm like, look, they offer free tutoring. I'll drop you off early. I can't help you.
Right. And that's where I'm at. Like, I can't help my kids anymore.
No, because it's like we have to go back to school all over again. So I totally get it. Oh, but I think you'll be all right. You do need to put up some pictures though. I mean, if not for you, your daughter's with you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if not for you, then for your daughter. Make her feel at home.
We'll see. I'll work on it.
You'll work on it. Okay, that's your job.
Okay.
Meditate about how you can work on it.
Okay.
About what you can do to make it home. And it doesn't have to be a lot, just little things.
Little touches, I know.
Yeah.
I know. We'll see.
That's what I tell my kids, and that really means no.
I mean, we'll see. I'm not gonna say it's a hard no, but we'll see.
Right. I understand. Okay. Did you have any more questions or anything? If not, we can call it a night, I guess.
Well, let me see. I know last week you surprised me when you said my husband was coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see him on that steel road? Okay. So do you like doing readings?
I do. For the most part, I really do. I do have, I like helping people, and that's what, because I wanted to be a teacher since I was in kindergarten, and I like helping people, but you can't help, well, we got a bad principal, and it was no longer about helping the kids. She told me that I was overworking them. But to me, education is very important, and those parents are not paying you to let their kids go to recess so that they can help them with their homework when they get home after
Correct.
work. So we always did practice test first for spelling. And they'd do their homework, and while everybody else was doing homework, if they finished, they would read, and after that, they could draw. And then when everybody was done with their homework, we would all go outside to recess, to the playground as a class. Because parents, pick them up at different times.
Right.
3 and 5:30. And, the principal's like, they've been sitting in class for 7 hours. They deserve a break. And I was like, but that's not what their parents are paying for.
Right.
Their parents don't want to get off of work and have to go home and make dinner and help their kids do homework if they're paying somebody else
to do it.
Help the kid with their homework.
I agree.
So I walked. But yeah, I like readings because I like helping people and I do get frustrated though when I have to tell somebody something over and over and over and they don't listen because I can't help you if you don't want to be helped.
Right.
But yeah, I really like doing it for the most part. I get some bad reviews sometimes and they used to really bother me. I'm not gonna lie, but now it's like whatever.
Right.
But I like it because, like I said, I help people. And if my kid has something at school, I just sign off and go.
Right.
And I could not do that if I had a schedule I used to work at a hotel was my last job. And if I was, still at the hotel working from 3 until 11, there's no way I could do anything with my kids.
Right. And it makes a difference.
Yeah, he's delusional, it looks like.
Delusional?
Well, like he's got wishful thinking that you're going to take him back. And he really feels like subconsciously you're going to do it, that you still have feelings for him and you're going to take him back. Is that him texting?
No, it's my I'm sitting here like I can't believe she's sitting. What it is like I said, I'm a store manager, and the team that I walked into is horrible. So now
Uh-huh.
I have them where they have to send me pictures of every aisle of the store when they're closing, so I can see the condition of the store. So like this morning, I was so overwhelmed. It looked like the store just was not ready, customer ready.
Right.
So I'm like, this is it. My district manager was like, okay, so if they want me micromanage, I'll micromanage. They've got to start sending us pictures every night. So that's what it is. The pictures are coming in
Oh, okay. I was like, is that
right
how
behind each other. Yeah, he doesn't have my phone number. If he has it, then one of the kids have snitched.
he thinks that you still love him and that he thinks that y'all have a future together.
But see, that's just it. It's me that's been waiting and wishing. But there's been very little communication
Now
between us. This is somebody that I have over 31 years of history with.
yeah, he's still gonna
So,
come back. He knows that you'll take him back.
but how can he be that confident?
He just is. He's convinced himself. He because he wishes it also. He really does. And it's like, you know how if you tell yourself something over and over and over, you really
Hmm.
believe it's true, and that's what he's done.
So is this a game for him?
No, he really thinks that y'all are gonna be a family.
But if he's the one that's holding back, that's where I'm confused.
I
So
don't.
it's not, I poured my heart out. I think it was late July, early August. I don't know.
Hmm.
When I found out about the job offer, because honestly, when he left, like I felt like I was happy about it. I'm like, okay, things will get better. And then as my anger started wearing off, I did come to a realization that, yeah, there's some things that he did, but there were some things that I did too. So the things that I felt like that I probably shouldn't have did or I probably shouldn't have said, I took ownership of that, but it was like I just didn't hear anything from him. And then I got frustrated when I didn't hear anything from him. I was like, well, maybe we should just get a divorce. But whether I talked about divorce or us getting back together, he never acknowledged it. Um,
Well, he believes that
so
y'all are gonna be a family. He really does believe that.
then why doesn't he act on it?
That I cannot answer. They're showing things like he's got distractions, and it's almost like an addiction to whatever he's doing that he's got going on.
Okay.
So I mean, they say that y'all have what it takes to be happy. Y'all are just gonna have to come together. But he believes in his mind he believes that y'all are still a family and that you're gonna be a family. And so yeah, he's gonna come back. He's just distracted with whatever these, I say addictions because a lot of times it's drinking or drugs. But like for me, I buy too many tarot cards and spend too much money, and
Really?
that's my yes. I buy. They're coming out with a new deck every week, and I want it so bad, you know.
Oh my God.
But so I have to, really watch myself. No, then don't buy that. So I'm not allowed to buy any more tarot decks for the rest of the year.
Oh my God. But you don't have long because it's October.
I know. I'm just waiting for New Year's Day already. I
Oh
already
my
know.
God. Oh my God. That is cool.
But it really is. It's like an addiction, and I had to do it because I knit, and I've got so much yarn, and I was constantly getting these coupons from Joann's, and so I'd run down and buy more yarn. Like I need more yarn. So my New Year's resolution last year was I'm not buying any yarn this year, and so far I have not bought any yarn this year, and I still have lots and lots of yarn.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've got to find something, some kind of new hobby.
I,
Um,
I really like knitting. Not everybody does, but I do. And I learned to do it from watching YouTube.
really?
Yes, because
Okay.
nobody in my family knits. They crochet, which I don't know how to crochet, but I can knit.
Now, my daughter loves to crochet, and I did buy her some knitting needles for, it wasn't a birthday because it just passed. I don't know why I bought it. I think it was Easter. I did Easter baskets,
Hmm.
and she's learned how to do that. And it's actually funny because she's such a diva, but she'll sit somewhere in the corner and crochet and knit all night long.
Yeah, it's very soothing and calming. It really is. I don't know if you've looked at my website, but when I like go to these events and stuff, I'm a vendor most of the time. Well, I take some classes, but um I mostly do the vending, and I knit these witch sacks and gypsy bags and tarot card bags, and so while I'm sitting here, reading on Keen or waiting for, because you have to sit here and wait sometimes for a long time and then before somebody rings your bell. But I'll just be knitting and watching Netflix.
Oh, that's cool.
I knit all day long, every day. If I have to, like Walker was working at the concession stand because part of going to Catholic school is you have to do community service hours. So he
Hmm.
was working the concession stand at tonight's game, and I sat in a truck and just knit.
That's right, because I think I did see where you said you were doing something with your son, so it got pushed back an hour.
Yeah, because I had, I have to drive down there and pick him up, and I was like, I was back by 7, but like maybe 6:45, and I didn't want to be rushed.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
How was the event?
uh,
Hmm.
oh, it was a volleyball game tonight. He
Oh,
only
okay.
he only worked for 2 hours. It's still going on.
Oh my God. See, I can't get into volleyball, and I couldn't get into soccer.
Yeah, and he doesn't do sports, but
Okay.
he got a Letterman's jacket though for football because
Okay.
they call him the athletic manager, and what he
Okay.
does is he wants to be a cinematographer when he grows up, and so he takes pictures and he films the football games and all the different various games, and so that they can watch them back and see what they did right, what they did wrong, and and then pictures for the yearbook and stuff like that. But it got him a Letterman jacket, and
Oh, that's awesome.
it counts as an athletic credit. So
It works for me.
right.
It works for me. Oh,
That's
wow.
amazing. That is something to be proud of. And by the way, we now know what to give you for Christmas. Thank you.
What's that?
Well, we can give you either gift cards to get yarn, or we can give you gift cards to go get tarot cards, one or the other.
Are y'all could just like buy them for me because I'm not supposed to buy them for the rest of the year?
I
There
think
you
we can
go.
buy it for you.
We can totally enable this habit. You're kind of
If
enabling us and we're enabling you. It's a mutual circle of
if you,
justification.
but
How
see
are y'all doing tonight? I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry. I
no,
met a guy. It's not anything serious, but I just met a guy and he was having an emotional crisis. So I just walked him to his exit and I'm walking back right now. And there's been like 3 alligators that have shown up in, dishes all day long. It's like some kind of powerful sign. I'm gonna have to look it up. Not looking near the spot right now because I hear them. Like, seriously.
well, you can use part of Conjure. They use an alligator foot to do cleansing.
Well, there you go, because I need it. I called my shaman and her, sidekick today. Oh,
Uh-huh.
girl, they yelled at me. I cried. I called my therapist. He told me you would forgive me. He also talked to me about gratitude. I cried. It's been very hard being grateful for anything because I feel like anything I'm grateful for is going to be taken away from me. It's been very emotional. And I'm trying not to be gripped by this waxing moon on its way to a full moon. And I'm battling the spiders, which I don't care if you talk about because, it is what it is. And hopefully it helps someone else.
Huh.
Girl, it's been epic, you know?
Well,
I've been reading the scripture you gave me.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about earlier, though, too, and even like in my weekly forecast, be grateful for even your obstacles, because when something gets in your way, it might be because you have something better coming. So
yeah, I mean, I really don't think like a guy with a massive divorce and domestic violence is what the fortune calls for. Yeah, I mean, God knows, but you know, but I was happy to be a shepherd in the storm and to encourage him to be loving in the obstacle he's in. And I was encouraged just to, you know, meet people tonight and befriend people and not be a weirdo and keep my crazy in check.
And it took your mind off of other things, which was good. You got a little
obviously. Mhm. Yep, the shaman and the shaman shadow was like, don't talk about those things anymore. And I was like, that's like telling a fat person not to eat cake. How do you think that's going to work out for me? I was like, come on.
You're going to have to go back and listen to the whole thing, and I'm tell you how.
I know, I will. I'm so sorry I missed it from the beginning. I had every intention of being here, and I just checked my phone. I was like, oh, F, I have 2% battery power. Best to call in. So I'm glad you guys are still on here.
Yeah, we were just about to go, though. But
that's
yeah,
okay.
I'm going to actually. I have a podcast, and I'll go back and chop off, you know, after the reading. I'll chop the part off because it, you know, it was just me and you here, and so you know, things are personal. So I won't add that in, but I have a podcast now on Spotify, iTunes, and something called Castbox. I don't know what the hell that is.
Girl, you have been busy. I am proud of you.
That's why
I am proud of you.
That's why I haven't been on Keen. I'm trying to do all this stuff, but maybe tomorrow I can sign on. I really want to, and don't repeat this to any employee of Keen. I'd really like to move away from Keen.
I know.
And just do it on my own website.
I'd like to help you. I'd like to sincerely help you with that. And I hope what we talked about on Friday still stands. Like,
yeah,
I know it got weird. But
you're all right.
Like, yeah, I know. I was super worried last night and I tried to pray about it. Like, the spiders got really intense. And if we're the only ones on the call, you know, I can't see.
Oh, no, there's one other lady. She's here. She was here.
Well, she can hear it. Like, the spiders got really intense, Lynna.
You have to, you need to go
back
and listen. They were talking about tonight doing meditation and also the tapping. You know what tapping is?
I do tapping, but like, I'm just telling you, like, out of nowhere, it was like she posted and it was right before I blocked her, right before your messages, right? Like, I saw her post, I blocked her, and then 2 hours later you messaged me, and all of a sudden everything got really crazy, and then it started raining, and so I just started journaling furiously, and I literally started meditating, and I prayed to Archangel Michael, and then the attack got worse, and all of a sudden it went from just being kind of like that in my brain to actually being like a migraine, a full-blown migraine, and feeling like there was a black cloud over me, and then it was pouring outside, terribly pouring, and I didn't know what was going on. You know, like, I knew what was going on, but I didn't know what was going on, and I was all alone, and I really only messaged you, and I didn't message my therapist until like maybe 3 hours after you messaged me the initial message. And I just sat there, you know, quietly, just trying to process what was going on and send prayer out. I didn't understand why it was happening, what I did, because I hadn't messaged anything since Friday. So nothing made sense, right? But I mean, evil doesn't make sense when someone sends a psychic attack. And this is so new to me. Like, I said it to a girlfriend of mine who's Catholic today. I said, have you ever heard of this? And she goes, no. And I said, me neither. I've never heard of this in my life. Like, I've believed in God. I've believed in Jesus since birth and been baptized and I've been confirmed. And I've always believed in God. And this is so bizarre. Calling the shaman today And then the shaman was like, you're manipulating because you believe that he and you will get back together. And I was like, well, God put that in my heart. I mean, that's like the laws of attraction. How do you tell the laws of attraction something won't happen? Like, I walk into client meetings knowing they're my client. There's no manipulation. I just know it's a fact. I go in like a winner. Like, I don't go in thinking, well, maybe I'll win and maybe I'll lose. No, I go in thinking I'm a winner, you know? So I told her, I said, what am I supposed to do? And she goes, cut all contacts, pull your energy in. And I said, what does that mean? What does that mean?
It's a cut and clear. You have to though. You have to.
Right. But people say that to me and I'm like, what does that mean? Because like we share this psychic connection, we share this telepathic connection, and he shows up.
But you have to tell him to go away and then cut him off.
Mm-hmm. And so I told,
and don't let her come through and bother you either. You're gonna be.
Oh no, she's not welcome.
You say
she's not welcome.
You're not welcome here.
Mm-hmm. She's not welcome. And so with him,
but see,
when he shows up,
one of the things though is you're still saying that we're meant to be together. We're meant to be together. Don't say that anymore. That's not. You're not cutting him off. You're still holding on. You have to.
Oh, that's what she said. That's what she said, and that's what her little sidekick said too. I called my therapist and I said, "Is this bad? Am I doing something bad? Have I done something bad?" He was like, "No." He was like, "You have faith that it will work out, and you're not manipulating the situation." I said, "Yeah, but they said I'm manipulating." So
I'm not saying you're manipulating. I'm saying that
no, I know you're not.
Yourself nuts if you don't stop. You have to he can't come back if you never let him go.
Right. And so I'm changing my screensaver. That's an action statement. I am being affirmative when he shows up in my dreams. I'm saying, you can't be here. You have to choose God. She's still in your life. You need to take care of this. So there's no manipulation, There's no there's no ultimatum. It's just very simple. And like the first day, it wasn't really coherent. There was a lot of crying. I woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And like every time it happens, I'm like, I'm a fucking crazy person. I'm a fucking crazy person,
Why don't you try when things like that happen, say, you're not welcome here. I deserve better.
That's a really great suggestion. And if I can remember that when I'm like half asleep, I would gladly say that.
You have
just know that.
You have to know that you do deserve better. And if he gets better, fine. If he doesn't, that's okay too. Because you know you deserve better and someone better will come along. And if he don't get his shit together, it might be too late for him.
Yep, totally aware, but at the same time, like I'm dealing with this very auspicious batshit time. And I'm trying to be very radically real to the fact that it's going on. And I'm very, like yesterday when I told the therapist guy, I was like, I'm grateful for you. He was like, are you? And that sparked that whole conversation that I'm having this very big disconnect and being truly from the bottom of my heart grateful, because I feel like if I am grateful for the love of my life, grateful for a relationship I care about, grateful for a girlfriend, grateful for the house I live in, grateful for something amazing that's on the horizon. I'm grateful for it, and then poof, it's gone. And so I'm feeling this instability, and I just started uncontrollably crying, and I was like, I'm sorry, I really am grateful for you. And he was like, I know you're trying to be grateful, but you're not coming across as grateful. And I was like, fuck my life.
You can't worry and stress, and I told you this, you cannot worry and stress about things you can't control. Don't worry about if something's going to fall out from underneath you. It's under you now. I mean, what I'm saying is you have you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about not having a place to live if something happens, because right now you do have a place to live. And
I know, but it's like that.
And don't worry about not, because you're going to manifest those fears.
Exactly. It's exactly that, but it's also like this, like I really had to step back and I was like, wait a second, like on the phone call, I think I messaged it too. On the phone call, he iterated to me, his friends and family didn't dislike me. right? It was a super paranoid thing that I like made up as a story to explain why we broke up, okay? And that wasn't the case at all, right?
I know.
And I mean, like 100% she was manipulating the situation. And then even right now, I'm like, there are things that are definitely in stone, right? They're in stone, they're in print, they're in clear agreements. There's like no way that they're going to just go away overnight. There are people who literally like every day show up with me, right? Like that's not going to happen. And all of a sudden, like these crazy thoughts hit my head. And I'm like, where the fuck is this coming from? And like, I pray, I literally do, but it's not like I sit here and post it on Instagram. Hey, everybody, today in my prayers with Jesus, this is what went down. Like, I don't do that because that would be really fake and contrived. I really genuinely am praying, right? I literally live my heart in prayer. And I will sit there sometimes and be like, God, I know this isn't true, but like, it seems like it could be really true, you know? And it's like, these things have been happening more and more. And I'm like, why the fuck are they happening? And the only thing my shaman said was that, you know, as long as I believe in my heart that he's coming back, which I do, which I know, but it's like, he will come back when I let go. But right now it's like, I love him. I don't know how to let go of him. And I feel like this is a very helpful lesson for anybody that you help that is like dickmatized. Isn't that the word?
Yes.
Obsessed with a guy. Like literally, girl, you have to let him go because I will tell you from personal experience, my cheating ex of 12 years came back. I let his ass go. That's the only way he came back. And he gave me like thousands of dollars on top of that for like guilt money. Okay. Then after that, the baby daddy guy, in and out, in and out, in and out. We have a kid. We lose the kid in like a miscarriage. Guess who comes back? He comes back. Crazy guy, single dad, date him. Don't want anything to do with him. He's a crazy guy. And he throws knives in my house. Leave him alone. 3 months later, guess who comes back, right? This guy, I date him for less than 3 weeks. I'm very loving, very kind to him, naturally, right? He decides to break up with me on New Year's Eve because I'm a Christian and I'm a crazy person. And I was like, okay, this is a blessing in disguise. You should have been honest about being an atheist. I love you. I will pray for you. Bye-bye, right? Guess who comes back 3 months later? Guess who like totally is my like BFF every time I get kicked out of the house with my recent ex? Okay, testify. So you let a guy go, they 100% come back. You have told me this, Lynna. You've told me this. I'm not trying to resist. I'm not trying to resist you. But it's like right now, because it's actually this genuine, true connection that I share with another person, it's so hard to just take it and cut it out of my heart because I really am afraid that if I do that, I will hurt him, I will hurt me, and I will never get it back, and I will be done, and I will never find anybody for the rest of my life. Like, I really have this fear.
But you have to let go of that. You know that. You have to let go of that fear. Because if you focus on him never coming back and him being with somebody else, and that's what you focus on, that's what's going to manifest.
Right, which is exactly what I don't want.
On that you manifest your fears into reality. And you just sat here and said that you have to let somebody go in order for them to come back. Because how is somebody going to come back to something if they've never left?
Right, but then it becomes this, like, this is the miracle thing, right? So the shaman tells me today, right? You know, send him away. Say, I'm done with him. I want to release him. I don't want him in my life anymore. It was a very simple thing to say. And it was very much like demon casting out of you. Like, you know, God has the only authority here. Get the fuck out, right? Like, I'm done with you. Leave me alone. I don't have anything to do with you anymore. Leave my life. And I was like, that's really mean. I was like, that hurts my heart. I was like, you just said the words. I was like, my heart is literally palpitating inside and out. I was like, I feel like I'm having a heart attack. Do I really have to say that? She was like, you want it to go away and come back. You have to say it. And I was like, wait a second. Is there a different...
You don't have to be mean like that. You can just say, look, you're not welcome here. I deserve better than this.
That's much nicer, and I do like that, and I feel like everybody can benefit from this learning lesson. It was hard. It's hard. My heart hurts. My heart hurts. And I'm sitting here, and I'm like, I'm going to just take sage in the morning, and maybe even tonight, and put it in a glass and rub it on myself. That's because I don't want to burn it and smell like I'm smoking pot in the house. But literally, like, I'm cleansing myself. I'm taking wormwood. I'm drinking salt water. I feel really effed up. I feel heartsick. And I'm just like, I don't want to let it go. And even the guy tonight, he was like, you should have sex. And I was like, I think you're a desperate divorcee. I think this is a very convincing ploy. No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. I was like, I walked him with a scooter to his exit, and he was like, you're a really cool chick. And I was like, I have a lot of empathy for you, dude. I'm sorry you got dicked over. Women aren't evil. I'm sorry that a woman used you for your money. It sucks to be used. I've been where you're at. Sucks. But we can be friends. And when I say friends, I mean, don't fuckboy message me in the middle of the night because I will lose 100% respect for you. Feel me? And he just looked at me and he was like, you're a crazy person. And I was like, yep, basically. Don't do it. Just don't do it. You think your ex-wife is crazy. Don't do it. This is not a roller coaster ride that you're like, I think I would like to, mount that. Nope.
Because you deserve better.
Well, I don't want just some dude having a rebound. I don't want some damaged dude with 2 kids stringing them along. I don't want that. Like, even if he did really befall some really shitty stuff, I don't want that kind of rebound. I don't want that. And it's like, I don't even want anybody. I do want Frank back, but I don't know how we navigate the next 5 months. God forbid, I hope he doesn't ever Google your shit. I love you. I hope he doesn't. Like, I really don't. I hope he doesn't like Google this and like hear my like confessions on YouTube. But literally, I don't know how we navigate this. I don't know how he comes back and I look at him with absolute trust and be like, I forgive you. We can start again. I really don't.
Well,
I don't.
Because things have to change. He can't keep blocking you. He can't keep talking and saying things about you. You deserve better than that. You deserve better
know
than
that.
what he's doing right now. And until he changes, you can't be with somebody like that. And I'm not, it's ultimately, it's up to you what you want, but you deserve better, and you shouldn't have to pine over somebody who treats you like a piece of shit. And that's what
I shouldn't.
Right now. He really
that is exactly what he's doing. And then my shaman was like, you're trying to manipulate him to get him back right now. And I said, no. When we talked on the phone, I said, I don't trust you. You did some shitty shit to me. And now I have just realized that you lied to me and you told me you were not fucking about with your ex-girlfriend. And guess what you've been doing? You've been fucking about with your ex-girlfriend from the get-go. And you made me out to be a crazy person. And I don't respect that. And I cannot be with you until you own that. Like, I cannot. And she was like, you're manipulating him.
So why would you want to be with somebody who treats you that way? That's the way you have to think about it.
I don't know. I don't know.
Better. If it was,
I know.
If you wouldn't be with that other guy, and you don't even know if he would treat you bad. You know he just wanted a piece of ass, but you don't know if he would treat you bad and talk shit to you.
I know, but like, here's the thing. Okay. And I know this is absolutely the most insane part, right? This is the most insane part. And when I read it, I was like, what the fuck? And then I read it 2 times. I was like, what the fuck? And then I sent it to you. You were like, girl, what the fuck? Right?
Right.
So manipulation is a very weird thing. And I have very much questioned my Catholicism, my faith in God. Like, if there are other agents out in the universe that can come to my aid right now, because none of this makes sense. None of my symptoms make sense. None of his symptoms make sense. Like, we went from sitting on the couch and being absolutely happy, kissing each other, being on our laptops together, watching stuff, eating food. And all of a sudden it was like, blah, 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 like out of nowhere. Like, he was a fucking crazy person. And I was like, okay, I mean, he's had a hard day. Now, you add about 50 of those events up and you're like, he's fucking insane, right? I'm like, but at the same time, you know that this is not the person that person is. Like, deep in your heart, you're like, something's wrong. Something, like, none of this makes sense, right? Then you start reading on this blog, and it's like, all of a sudden you read on this blog and you're like, holy fuck, 100%. Every single thing that they're saying came out of his mouth. Like, what the fuck? And then you read what the response to that kind of response is, and then you're like, you gasp. And you almost choke yourself out because you're like, oh my God, I said all of the things back to him. And this blog was written in 2014, and it's exactly what I said. How do they know that I said that? Because they weren't in the room with us. It happened this year in 2019. Then you have the shocking realization that somebody has been doing what they did. And then you sit there with God and you're like, God, are you going to make this right? And in your heart, you're like, yes, God always make things right. Maybe not in this lifetime, but everybody has to pay in this lifetime for the shit that they stir up on other people. Of course, everything's going to be right. But then you sit there in that moment and you're like, and then all of a sudden blind hate and crazy takes over. And you're like, you don't really remember what happens for a few moments, but you're really glad that you did not, 1, text, 2, phone call, or 3, send a letter. But you're really glad that you managed to have restraint. And if you phoned a lifeline, amen. Right? That is exactly what happened yesterday. I went fucking out of my mind when I found out. And I just like sat there and I was like, oh my God, the entire year and a half makes sense. Like here I was having meaningless, stupid fights with somebody. And all the while somebody was sending black magic attacks, and not a single person in my world, because I live in this Catholic space with people and we believe in God, not a single person really has experience with it. And then the one person I call, right, who's been supernaturaling for the last 20 years, my shaman and her sidekick, don't even have any advice to send to me, and they can't do jack fucking all shit because the person calling them is not the person who needs the help anymore, because I've already been quote unquote saved. That's what went down. And I'm sitting here in this moment and I'm like, well, okay, so I'm breathing and I'm under a palm tree, so life can't be that bad, you know?
Right. Nope, you need to count all of your blessings. Even this is a blessing, because
I know.
you don't deserve this, and he needs to get his shit together. He really needs to get together. And like I said, when he comes back, he better hope it's not too late, because you do deserve better. And that's
I know.
that's what you need to be focusing on, is that you know that you deserve better. You don't deserve to be treated like this.
No, I don't. And my dad tells me every man I meet out at the bar and they see me, like tonight, like the girl at the bar that I met, one of them actually walked out. That was an interesting story we'll talk about at a different time. But the other one sat there and she was like, look at you with your messy hair and your skinny jeans and the t-shirt and the I don't care attitude. She was like, I bet you men just fawn over you. And I was like, yeah, because I'm not trying. You should stop trying. Stop putting on lipstick. And she's like, but I'm old. And I was like, I don't see an old woman sitting in front of me. I see a sophisticated, wise person who's experienced life. That's not manipulative. It's just the truth.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and there are people who see that in other people.
Manipulative. I think that you're maybe manipulating yourself.
Sometimes, if we're really like questioning that.
But you know.
But yeah, you are helping me. You are helping me immensely. What you sent to me was incredibly wise. Wisdom is something that is given from God, and it takes time. It doesn't happen at the snap of the finger. No. Right?
And you have
light
to
shows wisdom,
because you can't change him. You can't change him.
Nope. Nope. When he comes up in my mind, I give him to God. When he comes up in my mind and the thoughts come, or I become conscious to it and dream, right? When I'm consciously in my sleeping state and I'm dreaming and he shows up, because he does, I tell him, you can't be here. You have to choose God. She's manipulating you. Please leave. Leave now. And that's all I've been able to squeak out the last 3 days, because as much as I want to take him and close the door and cast him out, we share this really special telepathic connection I've never shared with anybody in my life. And I feel like I'm living in a fairy tale right now, you know, where there's a dark witch coming after me. And I'm some, you know, white light, you know, princess queen in the making. And I'm waging my own war of becoming better in my own character. And here he is. And he's trying to be the Prince Charming, but he's sappy and he's quite pathetic, to be honest. You know, most of them are. And she's still coming at me, even after Friday, saying, I'm done. And my shaman was like, you're not done. And I was like, how do you ever become done with somebody that you love in your heart?
Because you deserve better. And it could be him, but he has to change.
I don't feel like he's let go, though.
He can do that. You can't do that.
I know. I just don't feel like he's let go. And I know I haven't let go. And they were like, oh, no, he's let go. And I was like, I'm not inviting him into my dreams and he's showing up. That's not a me thing. I'm pretty angry before I go to bed. That's not a me thing.
You need to
I
tell him
know.
he's not welcome and that you deserve better. And you need to tell yourself over and over again until you believe it. Because I don't think you believe it.
I do believe it. The lady tonight blew up at me and she was like, I would never be in your position because I want a man to pay for all of my things. And I was like, well, that's despicable. Like, I didn't say that, but that was the look that both the other woman I gave to her. And she got up, closed her tab, and left.
Well, I know you're not looking for somebody to take care of you, but you do want to be treated with respect and kindness. I mean, I know it won't be 100% hunky dory. I'm not delusional, but it has been very volatile every time lately, and you do deserve better, and you need to know that. I don't think you know that because you keep making, and I'm not trying to sound ugly, but you keep making excuses. But I love him. But I love him. How do you love somebody that treats you like crap?
Right. I think it's like when somebody's at their worst, that you can see their worth, and it's somehow to find that same dualistic ground where you don't put up with somebody diminishing. You don't put up with somebody diminishing your worth at the same time. And I haven't learned the second part of the equation. I haven't learned how to see at his worth, and also pull myself back from the situation and really acknowledge, not that I'm sorry that he sees it that way or perceives it wrongly, or that he's living in this projection, or that he's living in this manipulation and making excuses for him, but really just say to him, that was wrong. That was wrong. Right? I don't know what's going on inside of you that you would say that to another human being. You need to really look inside of your own heart on that one. Bye.
Right.
I'm working on that, but I appreciate you being on the call longer.
Start with telling him, you are not welcome. I deserve better. And the more you tell him and the more you say it, the more you're going to convince yourself that you really do deserve better.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you're doing two things at once there, but you need to do it. Because like I was telling you about the homing pigeons.
I know, he is a homing pigeon.
If you coddle them and never let them go, they'll never come back because you never let them go.
Right.
What are they going to come back to? What? They haven't gone
anywhere. I know. That's been very helpful. It's been incredibly helpful. And you have full permission to use 100% of this dialogue on your YouTube, by the way, because I know, and I have listened to 100% of people's afflictions that have called in for the last few weeks, and they need to hear what I just said to you.
Okay.
Because they're struggling in the same place, and other people can benefit from it. So you have 100% permission to use it.
Okay, awesome. But
I mean, I'm not worried. Like, if he ever finds out, like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that
maybe
he's a byproduct.
He needs to hear it too, because you deserve better.
I do deserve better, but the both of us have been a byproduct of a psychotic attack by somebody. And I'm not making excuses.
Yes,
I'm not making excuses. I'm not, no. I'm just saying this is that even when you are attacked, okay, yesterday I was attacked by a psychotic attack, okay? Mm-hmm. And I went batshit crazy, and I afflicted a lot of people who loved me, and that was unfair of me. And irregardless of what fucking was happening in my head, pardon my French, but irregardless, I had 100% choice to stop my spinning out and my chaos, and I did not. That's the point. So even though he and I are both in the psychotic attack, he is unaware of the fact that, wait a second, I wouldn't act like this as a human being. I shouldn't be talking to somebody like this. This is not who they are. Wait a second. He's not checking that. Instead, he's just feeding into it. And feeding into it only fosters it and only drives it further. And that comes from a separation from God. It's plain and simple. I don't care what you call God what you want to call. God, but if you're separated from God, this will 100% happen to you. You've got to get right with God in your heart. And I don't know how to tell people to do that because I thought I was right with God for months and apparently I wasn't. So, I mean, a lot of salt water, a lot of wormwood, a lot of rub and sage in my body later. I feel a lot more grounded, but I'm still fucking twisted in my heart, you know? And I'm still grappling with the fact of what's happening to him, what's happening to me. And it's not easy because I'm still reaching out and aching for him instead of just saying, girl, fucking get with it. He's hurting you, right? He's allowed an evil witch in his life. He is oblivious to it. The longer you stay in this, the longer he won't see what the fuck she's doing. Back the fuck off. Be the worthy adversary. Walk away. Walk away. Not in defeat with your head held high because you deserve better than this bullshit. The end. You're right. You're right, Lynna. This is the pep talk.
Well, now you need to believe it.
I know. Every day I do believe it, right? I do believe it. I say leave. I pray to God. I bless God when I feel the in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I ask Archangel Michael to come and surround me in light, and wherever it's coming from, send it right back where it's coming from. She already caused somebody to commit suicide. It's only a matter of time before she destroys more things in her own life from sending and casting you know what. And I'm not going to go to someone else to try to remedy it because I feel like that's going to cause more harm to me. So I feel like anybody should know anything in the world that you put out comes back to you tenfold karmically. You put good out, you get good back. You put evil out, you get evil back. It doesn't matter who sends it. You fight evil with evil, you get evil back. Do not send that out. Send God out on your behalf. Send God's agents out on your behalf. The end. That is all I know. That is the truth I know in my heart. And it's hard. It is so seductive to go and hire somebody to do it.
Yeah, but you're better than that.
I know that. I really do. Not to mention my pocketbook is better than that.
You don't want to lower yourself to her level.
I will not do that, but at the same time, it is really difficult. And so anybody else who's walking through something similar, it is difficult every day to sit there and know that someone willingly for over 2 years' time has cast dark, dark shit into your life, that you have been tormented day in and day out by things that you never imagined were possible, that you thought you were living a happy, healthy life, and someone allowed evil into your life under the guise of just being nice because they were too afraid to close the door. And that's not to fuel any crazy thoughts. It's really fucking difficult. And I feel like a crazy person for saying that. It's really difficult.
I understand.
And I feel like a lot of people deal with it. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand what's going on. And I don't feel like people have to send black magic to accomplish these ill-fit deeds. I feel like negativity, jealousy, hatred, anger, 100% do the job because it gives the manipulation a way in. And that's really unfortunate. And I just don't want to be on the side that allows it in anymore.
And you don't.
So I do look forward to going back and reading about the shadow energy that you're continuing to talk about. And I'm sorry I missed earlier, but I really appreciate anybody who's still on the live stream listening. I appreciate the sisterhood. I appreciate the support in this really, really, this time of need and this time of communion, because it does take a village to pray for one another and lift one another up.
Exactly. And that's what we're trying to do here, is build each other up.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm gonna, if you need me, you can text me. I do have an appointment here in about an hour. But if you need
You're
me,
fine.
text me and we can
I'll
talk.
probably be quiet. I'll probably be quiet for the next 2 days, but I adore you. I love you. And I can't speak highly enough to people who want to get committed with you. Please do it. Please quit, whining and darning. Just commit, buy a package, commit to your own self-growth, evolve it forward, get beyond, whatever digmatations that you're under, and focus on yourself and your own empowerment instead of, will he come back? Fuck that.
Exactly.
It's not will he come back, it's will you move forward and will he chase you? Because we have to move forward for them to chase us.
Right. It's like a deer in the woods. If you run
Right.
after the deer is going to run.
Basically. And
And
basically, and if you want,
when you stop is when they'll walk towards you.
yeah, and if you want to be chased, you got to run in the opposite direction.
Right.
Yes. I love you, lady. Thank you for your time.
All right. I love you too. We'll talk soon.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. So go ahead and close out this podcast. I look forward to you guys meeting up with us again next week. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
To find out more about Mademoiselle Lynna or to book a reading, please visit us online at www.conjuremits.com. That is CONJUREKNITS.com.